she started to complain that she felt like she had a really bad hangover.
They woke up and thought, maybe they have a really bad hangover. Simone was, the life of the party.
Chesney was full of energy, always a big smile on her face.
Kirsty was a great girl. She was very artistic and adventurous.
They had a few drinks, I think maybe only 3. Simone vomited, Bethany fainted, and that's when they knew that this was maybe more than just like a normal hangover.
She had woken up complaining that she couldn't see, so they tried to get her to hospital as soon as they could.
They went to the first hospital, but initially they were turned away because they thought it was a case of food poisoning or even they'd taken drugs, which wasn't the case.
There was a real communication barrier between the doctors and us.
And Kirsty thought, like a lot of people do think when they've got methanol poisoning, it's a hangover and I'll just go to sleep. That's what she did. But as the next day wore on, obviously she began to feel iller and iller. By the time he rushed her to hospital, it was too late.
So her mum flew out to support and try and help. And so they took Simone in for brain surgery to relieve the pressure on her brain. But unfortunately, that was unsuccessful. And eventually, Sue, who was Simone's mother, had to turn off her life support herself.
It was about 3 days later, once they'd actually arrived and seen her, that they said my parents had to turn off the life support machine and that she had probably not been with us for a long time before that. It was awful.
She was always great at organising parties, events, meals, dinners and so on.
Chesney was the life and soul of the party.
She'd done a lot of different things in her life. She'd come to London, she'd worked in TV, she'd worked her way up to become a producer and a filmmaker.
She was definitely the glue that held our friendship group together. I had never heard about methanol poisoning until Simone died.
She didn't really have any idea that was something that she could encounter.
Getting the results was such a blow. It was just such a horrible realisation that our child had died, really had been poisoned. They had chosen to put industrial alcohol unfit for human consumption into a drink that she believed was safe. And that's a very hard thing to hear.
One of the key symptoms when you know it's methanol poisoning is blurred vision or trouble with your vision.
Quite a lot of confusion. The idea that you've got this sort of severe hangover, more severe than you would normally have. There is elements of sickness there. So a lot of people won't really start to notice those symptoms until 12 to 24 hours afterwards.
Look out for your mates when you're travelling on holiday.
You've got to recognise those symptoms and then get to a hospital. You literally could save their life.